HK, we need to talk. So close. So close, in fact, I think I know what women go through. Talking about the HK cc9 firearm I just picked up. Looking to implement it in my everyday concealed carry, EDC, but it's not quite perfect. Of course, none of them are, but I'm going to complain about this one a little bit, and you're going to listen like a therapist. Thank you. One of my complaints is the slide release. It protrudes a little bit past the plastic frame on the firearm, and when I'm shooting, my thumb likes to hit right on it, and so it won't allow the firearm to go into slide lock. Because as I'm shooting, I'm holding it, of course I'm not firing it right now, but the gun goes back and it doesn't go to slide lock because that's where my thumb likes to rest because of how I grip the firearm. My other complaint is the magazine. This is a 12-round magazine, very respectable, not the highest number, but definitely not the lowest number that exists. The flush mount is a 10-round magazine, and it has this little dimple right here that keeps it at a 10-round magazine. Now, I understand the whole 10-round magazine is for states that require the 10-round capacity, and they're just trying to be compliant with that. But if you're going to sell me a 12-round magazine in a state that isn't so restrictive, why would you give me the exact same size, everything being exactly the same except for the floor plate, and stop it at 10 rounds? That makes no sense. So I'm going to have to fix that too, because that bothers me. Pretty sweet little EDC overall. I bought the flavor that comes with the Hollow Sun. And I got this XSC-B Surefire light. The other issue I have with this gun is the price. You can pick up the M&P Shield Plus, which is going to be pretty comparable to this firearm, and you can pick it up about $700 or less, with a very, very similar package to this. But that's not the firearm that I took a liking to. I like the HK for a lot of reasons, and now that I've essentially complained about the slide release and the 10-round magazine for no reason, and the price, I'm going to talk about things I do like about this pistol and what led me to purchase this, even though I already had a perfectly good everyday carry. One of the things that I really liked about it is that I can add a back strap. I got pretty good sized hands, which means I have a pretty long length of pull. When I'm getting ready to engage a target, the length of pull in your hand references this area right here. This is longer than it is on just about every other concealed carry firearm that I've picked up. It's got pretty decent undercut. Really good stippling along the back strap and the side of the grip along with the front of the grip. It fits in my hand pretty decent for being a XL kind of hand. And this gun being as compact as it is, it actually feels bigger than it is. And that's a problem I had with something like the SIG P365. Even the original M&P Shield, which is a gun I still carry from time to time when I have to put it in an ankle holster. But this feels more appropriate to me, and when I'm shooting it, it feels a whole lot better. It feels like I'm shooting something closer to competition pistol size, or like full size, like a Glock 19, for example. So if you got big hands like I do, I recommend checking this out. At least pick it up, give it a shot, but definitely, like, it's $1,000+, so like that sucks. When you could get all sorts of other highly reliable, perfectly good, very functional, everyday carry firearms for like a lot less. So the price is kind of dumb. Another complaint I have about the HK, and it's not really HK's fault, it's that it's such a new firearm that there's not a big support system out there for it yet. So you look at something like P365, M&P, or the SIG, you have options galore, like option overload. You have all sorts of manufacturers will make holsters for something like a Glock in any variant that they make, almost before they make it for anything else. And that kind of aftermarket support is something you can't ignore. So when it comes down to HK, I like to have weapon lights on my firearms, but pretty much the only weapon light that the internet, Reddit, and a whole lot of other people on the internet have tried to figure out was the Surefire XSC. Actually a good little weapon light, but it's $300. It's very expensive for a little tiny weapon light on a firearm. When you're talking about something that your life may depend on, then $300 seems pretty cheap in the moment of actually having to use it, if you ever had to, God forbid. I found mine on Amazon for $188, and the only thing it's missing is the little charging cord for the charging base. That's not a big deal because I have 100 of those around the house, and you probably do as well. You could take the battery out and charge it next to your nightstand once a month or after you've trained with it. Good thing is you don't have to go to the store and try to find very expensive little tiny batteries for your weapon light, but if it dies, you have to charge it and wait. So there's good and bad. There's benefit and cost, right? So I think part of the benefit is you can charge it in the convenience of your own home. I have a different firearm for home defense, so I'm not out anything at home, but the battery lasts like 30 minutes. This weapon light is designed for the Hellcat, but it fits pretty nicely on this particular firearm right here. And then again, another logistical issue is holsters. Everybody makes holsters for this gun without the weapon light, but I wanted a weapon light. The holster option is A&R Designs. Had this one made. Might be a little bit difficult to see, but it's kind of like the green, a little bit green color, a little bit of cool topography mapping on it. Some like weird German word for this thing that keeps the magazine spare mag holder in place, so that's cool. This holster clicks pretty actively, but it uses the weapon light to secure it. So with the weapon light, you get a couple little pieces that you can move the weapon light forward and backwards of the gun, and with my big fingers, I'm not a big fan of how the button for the weapon light is protruding into the trigger guard because my big fingers are already having a hard enough time fitting in there anyway. So I'm going to actually mount the weapon light a little bit further forward, which will only cause the gun to ride a little bit higher in the holster. None of that's a big deal. None of that's a problem. I mean, we're talking like 1/8 of an inch at best. But when 1/8 of an inch matter, they really matter, especially when you think 6 inches is like that. So the 1/8 of an inch really is important. Crotch time. So this is a 43X. Shirt kind of like covers it pretty good. Pull a shirt back, you kind of see some grip. Spare mag there. This is the setup that I have. Yes, I recommend an undershirt so that way it doesn't pull on your little tummy hairs. And then that way the little bits don't dig into your little tummy and make you uncomfortable. I prefer appendix carry. Advice I have when you're just talking like regular old t-shirt and shorts and you're going to be cruising around in the summertime like this, a darker colored shirt, the shadows, like whatever's imprinting, the shadows will kind of hide it. Because the darker colors hide the shadows a little bit better. More crotch time. So this is the HK concealment. I think it's a little bit lower profile. The corners are a little bit more rounded. So it's easier, like it's not going to protrude near as much, but I mean, we're talking minimally here, like not worth me spending the money on this gun to replace that one. It's just not really worth it, but it is a little bit better in concealment. So if you're looking into going into concealed carry and dropping $1,000 on a gun is not a big deal for you, then this definitely is something you should consider. This holster, I haven't trained with it yet. I literally just got it, and I'm just now kind of playing around with it today with you guys for the first time. It seems just as good as the Neptune concealment. It's does the exact same job. It does it very well. The spare mag is pretty short, so I'm definitely going to be upgrading and getting an extended magazine for everyday carry purposes. But it does allow that mag to go pretty deep inside, so when I am bending over, I got less sticking into me, which is something the Neptune concealment has that magazine sticking up a little bit into my little tummy there. Alright, so if you want to keep staring at my crotch, you can pause it now. I'm going to stop the camera staring at my crotch because now it's uncomfortable. I feel like I should post on OnlyFans now. So that's my hot take on the HK cc9. Again, the Slide release is an issue. The 10-round magazine, when you give me a 12-round along with it, is an issue. Cost is an issue. Aftermarket support is an issue. But all in all, I have shot it. I have trained with it. It is a really good firearm. It shoots like it's a little bit bigger than a subcompact or concealed carry size firearm. It's actually sitting here right now. I got it in the appendix carry setup. It's more comfortable than the 43X, and I've been carrying that for years. So I think it does have some benefits. It does have a place in the concealed carry community and as an option. I feel like HK did a pretty good job in general, but I will be correcting the issues I can correct with this firearm, and we'll see that in a later date. I'm going to trim down that slide release because it doesn't need to be there. I'm not going to get rid of it. I'm just going to reduce it. I'm going to take a punch and get rid of that little dimple so I can turn my 10-round to a 12-round magazine. And then I'm also probably going to get an extended magazine or a magazine extension. I think having 3 mags wouldn't be a bad idea. So I have a healthy amount of backup in case I'm caught by a horde of zombies. I have enough ammunition to survive an initial onslaught of a small pack of zombies. Or is it a covey of zombies? Or is it a murder of zombies? Or is it a flock of zombies? Is it a herd? What is, like, we need to figure this stuff out for the zombie apocalypse happens so we can be on the same page with terminology. It's pretty important. Those are the kind of things that keep me up at night. I think I got issues.